More reaction to our Digging Deeper team's investigation. Buying the news is coming in, this time from the Republican candidate hoping to take Mayor Tom Henry's office in November.
Our team sat down with Tim Smith just hours after the investigation first aired earlier this week. In it, our team dug deeper into Input Fort Wayne, a recently launched online magazine that claims to be editorially independent. However, it is sponsored in part by the same local government agencies that distribute its articles as evidence of successful public projects. Our team also uncovered contracts between the site, the city of Fort Wayne, and Allen County, both of which contribute funds directly to the site. In return, city and county officials are invited to editorial meetings in which they can shape stories.
It's a relationship Tim Smith vows to sever should voters elect him into public office. Alexis Shear reports.
So it kind of makes sense in my mind for the city to sponsor it, because it's like, why wouldn't they want to be telling good stories about themselves?
Kara Hackett, managing editor for Input Fort Wayne. The online magazine and its relationship with the mayor's office is drawing sharp criticism from his Republican challenger in the upcoming election, Tim Smith.
It takes a little bit of work to scroll to the bottom, to see the logos, and to connect it all. I don't think the average reader of that or most websites takes the time to do that.
The city kicks in $6,000 yearly, which it points out is only 2% of Input's annual revenue.
$6,000 in the grand scheme of things is a really minuscule amount.
$6,000 is a lot of money to me. It should be a lot of money to everybody in Fort Wayne. If it was $6, it is still taxpayers' money. The amount's not the issue. It's how it was used and the fact that it wasn't transparent.
Our Digging Deeper investigation also caught the attention of Columbia journalism professor Raju Narasetti.
I think in the absence of any critical lens, it could easily become propaganda, and that's where the dangers might lie.
The city of Fort Wayne frequently shares stories heralding the mayor's initiatives as successful.
To think of this being as not very political, I think hides the fact that the funding is coming from people currently in the administration.
Funding for a site that writes up stories like this one, touting open streets, a program launched by Henry's office 3 years ago. Or this one, which claims the city has made neighborhoods more inclusive.
Clearly, because these are good news stories and only talk about things going very well, they clearly reinforce the person or the party in power.
I don't see these articles as being political.
In our interview last week, Mayor Tom Henry's spokesman, John Perlich, refuted the notion the online magazine is political.
This is simply an organization who approached us and said, would you be interested in being part of this effort to promote your city, county, and region? We said, yeah. We took a hard look at it. We decided this would be a good investment.
Businesses do this all the time. What's the big deal?
Well, the big deal is businesses don't spend taxpayer money. That's it. That's the distinction that matters. Elected officials are held to the highest possible standard because it is our money, the taxpayers' money.
Taxpayer money the mayor's office says it isn't trying to hide and should be obvious from the logos at the bottom of the site.
Is that transparent?
I don't know what your definition of transparency is, so I can answer that question if I have a better understanding of what transparency means to you.
I would say it's fair to question whether there's some expenses that the city should take a proactive approach and alerting not just council but the public. Mm-hmm. I would say that certainly is a expectation of transparency. You send us press releases every week. You know, mm-hmm. This wasn't one of them.
Right. Well, like I said, we're one of several partners. We're simply a partner of several others who have worked together to promote stories about Fort Wayne, Allen County, and the region.
I saw your interview with Mr. Perlich. You asked tough questions. He was in a difficult position. I'm actually interested in hearing what the mayor himself has to say and not Mr. Perlich.
And we have extended an opportunity twice now for Mayor Tom Henry to respond to this recent wave of criticism in an on-camera interview.
His spokesman instead sent us a 2-sentence statement pointing to comments he already made during the interview last week. That statement reads in part, quote, "We stand by our collaboration with Allen County, several private and public organizations, and Issue Media Group." We should note Perlich's statement mentions the county, which also signed a contract with the website, but since our story ran, is now critical of both the site and how the mayor's office is sourcing it. In a statement we aired Wednesday night, Allen County Commissioner Nelson Peters said in part, quote, "Shame on the city. This is not what this product was intended to provide."